What is up, guys? Welcome back to Wrestling Crossroads. As always, I am one half your dynamic duo Twisted alongside Brother Pyro.
What's up, guys? And before we get started...
Yes. I knew where you were going to go with that. I was at least going to finish our introduction first.
Yeah, well, I'm going to cut you off. Before we continue, just want to say... Big news coming out of our Little Wrestling Crossroads podcast. We hit 1,000 downloads earlier this week. We are so beyond happy and excited to have hit that milestone, and we just want to say thank you to all of you that listen, share, and actually give a damn.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate you guys not only being here through our last 2 years, but for season 3 to come. If you were here during our tragic YouTube...
We don't talk about that.
We appreciate you guys being there for that train wreck and coming and following us still here now today.
Like Benoit, we don't talk about that.
I talk about Benoit. I don't know about you, but I do.
Like Lesnar, we don't talk about that right now.
We don't talk about Bruno. All right.
Exactly.
Anywho, we are talking AEW Revolution.
A very bittersweet pay-per-view today.
Yes, unfortunately it is. So, do you want to start us off? You want me to? How you want to do this?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, first match on the card is a all-star scramble, which consists of Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, Lance Archer, Chris Jericho, Hook, Brian Cage, Mangus, and Dante Martin. Now, this was taken in place of the Meat Madness match because of injuries.
My thing is, why would you call a match Meat Madness? Like, Tony Khan, are you okay?
I don't think he's okay.
But also the fact that the injuries that he was referring to happened back in, like, September.
Yeah, and didn't know about the injuries.
Like, how are you? Now. How are you an owner of a wrestling company and don't know that your talent
is injured? Well, going into the predictions, because Tony Khan's another subject that we're not going to get you started on today.
We ain't got the time.
We are kind of all over the place. You, Desario, and Cauldron are all choosing Wardlow to win this. I don't know necessarily if there's anything coming off of this match. Are you sure if there's anything coming off of it, or was it just a match to have a match?
I think it's just a match to have a match.
Okay. So you guys are choosing Wardlow to come off of this. Flash is choosing Brian Cage, and me and Hex are on the same boat. We are choosing Hook.
Of course you are.
You know my reasoning for choosing Hook. I think hers is not necessarily the same as mine, but more or less just...
I do know the reasonings. This is just a very kid-friendly and family-esque podcast, so I'm not going to make the comment.
Well, you know my reasoning, yes. Definitely.
That's why I said I know your reasoning. I'm just not going to say it out loud because children listen to this.
Anywho, that is, my match. Take us into the next one.
All right, defending the International Championship, Orange Cassidy takes on Roderick Strong. The Undisputed Kingdom has made it known that they're coming for all the gold that they can. Roderick Strong has made it no secret that he has been eyeing the International Championship, and after some tension and a lot of
back and
forth between, the best friends and Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong and the rest of the kingdom, the Undisputed Kingdom,
whatever you want to call them, because this is annoying.
We are here one-on-one, Strong Cassidy for the gold. Going into our predictions, myself and Hex have Roderick Strong. Everybody else is picking Orange Cassidy.
Yes.
I know why Flash is picking Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you have a reasoning?
I don't see him losing the title. I personally don't. I know that there could be outside interference via the Undisputed Kingdom, but you also have the best friends for Orange Cassidy.
The numbers game favors the Undisputed Kingdom.
And personally, it's whatever happens. I don't see him losing the title to Roderick Strong. I don't.
All I know is...
Plus, I love dude's just fresh off of injury, too.
That's fair. I love Roderick Strong, but nobody knows how to book him correctly.
And you're hoping that with this match that they magically do?
I'm hoping they give him a little bit better traction.
Well, I don't...
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, I would say very wishful thinking on your end. I don't see it happening. Alright, jumping into our next match, we have the Continental Crown Championship, Eddie Kingston versus Bryan Danielson, and yet another thing of respect. If Bryan Danielson, from what I read, loses, he must shake Eddie Kingston's hand.
I'm not mad about that stipulation, because you know what? Kingston and Bryan have never really gotten along. They've never... really had that mutual respect for each other, and that's all Kingston is looking for.
Yeah.
From him, from Claudio, from a lot of the wrestling world. He feels disrespected and, looked over because he may not have gotten, the traditional training or upbringing in the world of wrestling as everybody else has. Yeah. He hasn't been awarded the same opportunities that everybody else has. He's actually had to work and grind for that.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand where he's coming from.
I do. I understand.
And it is for that reason, I know you're about to go into predictions, but it's for that reason that I did pick him.
Okay.
It's like, he's actually had to, and I'm not saying, guys like Danielson, Moxley, Claudio, and, anybody else in the wrestling world really hasn't had to work for him, but I don't think
they've gotten
but
more
the vast majority have had better setups when it comes to being able to train to get into this business, walk their way through those doors, get their foot in the door in the business. They've had not necessarily an easier time because, again, they've had to put in the work. Say.
They've had the right eye on them.
Yes.
There you go.
Whereas Kingston is kind of...
overlooked worse than Bryan was in WWE, worse than a lot of the people in AEW are, in TNA, and all the other ones that we cover.
He's had to fight just a little bit harder and a lot longer. A lot longer, yeah. Than most of the guys, especially on this roster.
I agree. So going into our predictions, I know you said you obviously picked Eddie Kingston. You, Desario, Hex, and Cauldron have all chosen him. Flash went with Bryan Danielson. Again, it's another more familiar face for him.
Yeah.
And just to hopefully break my streak yet again, for now hopefully this will be number 3, I went Bryan Danielson. So that is my reasoning for my pick.
You just want the streak to die?
I just want the streak to die, yes. Yes, I do.
I mean, I feel that, but at the same time, I'm going to pull up more, so that way I have...
Let's be honest with... Yes, I totally... I personally would like to see Bryan win, because I want a little bit more gold around his waist before he does leave us. Because that time is ticking on us as well. And it's not, the retirement. It is him not doing this full time. Does Desario have a reasoning? Because I know you were looking at it.
Yeah, no, not really. He feels it should be Danielson, but he's realizing AEW actually believes in Kingston.
Okay. All right, take us into our next match, which is actually the funniest.
Oh my God.
I'd have to say.
So at one point, I want to point out that these women were actually friends. Deonna Purrazzo.
I don't know how you pronounce it. Deonna P.
Challenges Timeless Toni Storm for the AEW Women's World Championship. This has definitely been... They've been teasing it since Deonna debuted in the company. At one point, Toni and her were friends. and you can tell this is more one of those, I want this match more or less to talk some sense into you because you've kind of lost your fucking marbles.
Yeah, what's her favorite saying?
Chin up, tits out, and watch out for that shoe.
Yeah, I think you kind of lose a bit of marbles when you're screaming that to people. Alright.
Okay, but if I'm gonna be completely honest, Toni Storm is the best thing going in the women's division right now. It is the most entertaining.
I still can't stand it, but alright.
You ain't gotta stand it. It is the most relevant thing in the women's division. You cannot argue with me on that one.
Anyways, take us into the predictions, because I could spend so much less time talking about this woman.
It's better than anything she's done in WWE.
True.
So, you and Cauldron pick Deonna.
You should know my reasoning.
You just are over Toni Storm.
Yes.
Everybody else picks Toni Storm because Toni Storm being the heel that she is, she's gonna have something up her sleeve, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Plus, I think Deonna, as hot as she is right now, she's still kind of lacking that sense of credibility in the women's locker room in AEW.
Okay.
And again, as hot as she is, she's definite. I think it's still too fresh.
Yeah. I noticed that's one of your big things too, is if they're too fresh in, you'll usually go with more of the seasoned person.
Yes, because like, if we're gonna make everything, not everything has to, but like, when it comes to stuff like this, you want it to make sense.
Make it make sense, yeah.
Exactly. And honestly, I think there's a lot more story here that you can tell with Toni going over.
Okay.
Versus if Deonna went over.
Okay. Next match on the card, FTR versus Blackpool Combat Club. We are split, 50-50.
And I just realized the way you typed this out, I skipped over that and went into... that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. I will gladly defer Blackpool Combat Club and FTR to you because I know how much you love both teams.
So, going for the Blackpool Combat Club, we have Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Obviously, we know mine and your love of FTR. However, when we look at our predictions here, Flash and Desario chose FTR. Hex and Cauldron won Blackpool Combat Club, and me and you are completely undecided.
I refuse to pick because I love and respect both teams way too much to come to a decision.
The last time I think you never picked at an FTR match was FTR versus Briscoes, the last one.
Again, way too much love and respect for both teams to actually want to actually bring myself to a decision.
I don't know if there's any stipulation for this match, but I think if we were to actually have a stipulation for this match, it should be number one contendership.
I wouldn't mind that. We're going to look just to be sure.
I wouldn't mind it either, but I think, more or less, I'd love to see FTR come out and win, but I know they're kind of coming to the end in their run of we're doing full time because what is it? I believe it's Cash that has the little girls, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're both parents, but I know one shows their kids more.
Dax.
Dax, he's got his little girls at home. Obviously, he's gonna want to be home with them more. So I know that their time is kind of coming to an end, unfortunately.
Yep, they said it not long ago that they were looking at being done within the next few years. I think since they made that announcement, it's been about a year.
Yeah, I think this year, next
year,
they're
kind of done. Looking at, and I believe they said they signed on for 5 years total before they're done. So we're looking at about 4 years left of FTR.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we have the 4 years. I'm hoping that the years that we have in our mind are correct. But you never know what could happen. I mean, both of these men have been through injury.
So there is no actual stipulation, nothing really up for grabs. This is
just a match to have
another one of those match to have a match, and I think it's just a
But I do know there's been some beef between the two.
Yes, I was going to say this is a big contest for the two of them.
Yeah,
like, I'm better than you, no, I'm better than you kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, again, with the amount of talent amongst those four individuals, not bad.
All right, take us into our next match.
I could have sworn you had one more match before that.
You read it already. That was the women's.
Are we sure?
I am very sure. Oh, wait.
Are we sure?
There we go. I scrolled a little too far.
TNT Championship, Christian Cage defends against Daniel Garcia.
Then again, was this really a match anybody really cared about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I actually really do give a damn.
Okay.
We got here because both Adam Copeland and Daniel Garcia have stated they have their eyes on that TNT title. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's a lot more personalized for Adam. I didn't say his other name. WWE, don't sue us. Anyway, Garcia stated that he's finally got his eyes on, some singles gold, some gold in general, because he hasn't held any gold yet. And I think, him and Adam for that number one contender match. Mm-hmm. Daniel went over.
Good job on Adam.
Thank you, Adam, for putting over the young talent. But then again, this man is definitely always going to be a workhorse and look at what's best long term.
Mm-hmm. All right.
So we are split down the line 3-3. Yumi and Flash, Daniel Garcia, Hex, Cauldron, Desario, Christian Cage. Desario has the mentality of just because Garcia's getting over doesn't mean he's quite at a championship level yet. What better way to test the waters than this?
To give him a mid-card championship, obviously.
I mean, you have more than enough titles.
Literally. I know one of the things I was expecting for Hex and Desario to say was outside interference.
Oh, 100%.
Think about who we have. We have Nick Wayne, we have Mama Wayne, and we have...
Killswitch.
Luchasaurus. Alright? His name is Luchasaurus.
It's Killswitch.
It will always be Luchasaurus.
It will always be Luchasaurus to us diehard fans. But right now it's Killswitch.
No. Alright. Anyways.
Why you give me that look?
Because I can.
Okay, that's right.
When we look at this... Daniel Garcia kind of has the same advantage. You have Daddy Magic, who can take out Nick Wayne.
Cool Hand Angelo Parker.
And who just returned from injury that has also been beside Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia before.
Jake Hager.
Thank you.
And he just... I want to point out that during this, Jake Hager's return, he helped Cassidy... hold on to the gold? Mm-hmm. So, I'm excited.
I think Daniel Garcia is the one man who really has numbers on his side.
The only X factor, because none of the men are going to do
is Mama Wayne.
What's
she going to do? What's the worst that she's going to do? She's going to slap a man? What, a kick to the nuts? That is the worst she's going to do.
But even then, think about it this way. Mm-hmm. Cool Hand has been... romantically involved with a certain woman on the women's roster that isn't afraid to get her hands dirty, Miss Ruby Soho.
Mm-hmm. So there you have
So now I think we have that deciding, you don't have I think the numbers game actually favors Garcia right now.
Yes, it does. But when you also think about it, another way that I was going to also bring this in is... You think about last year on this time, jumping to another promotion that we cover, WWE. They had a Rhea Ripley problem. Who did they bring in? Adam Copeland's wife.
Oh, yep.
To help take care of that Rhea problem, they brought in Michin again to help take care of that Rhea Ripley problem. You have Ruby Soho to take care of Mama Wayne.
Because, again, no man on the roster is going to touch a woman.
I mean...
But another woman will definitely touch another.
Yep.
definitely put pause to her.
So you saw, I actually had some thought into choosing Daniel Garcia this time.
You actually had the thought. My whole thing was I wanted to see him with the boat to the hip thrust.
Oh, Anyway, let's go into our next match. Do you want to take this? It's a big title. I know you don't care about the match after.
I was like, I don't care enough about the match after, so absolutely.
Take us through this.
Triple threat match for the AEW World Championship. The newly crowned Samoa Joe defends against Hangman Adam Page and Isaiah Swerve Strickland.
I forget his first name's Isaiah.
I do too, because nobody ever refers to his first name anymore.
It's okay. It's just Swerve. Yes. With Princess Induku.
Swerve, why not? But anyway, so the lead up to this is both Adam and Swerve have 100% stated, I'm coming for that AEW gold.
Yes.
We get a one-on-one match to determine number one contender.
Yeah.
Match hits a time limit draw. Mm-hmm. So as announced per Tony Schiavone, we went into a draw. Both of you will be taking on Samoa Joe at Revolution.
Beautiful.
It was the most simplistic, yet most effective way to give both men a shot at the title in what is going to be a lights-out, firework-level match.
I want to say one thing before we get into predictions. My prediction is what it is, not only because of the person and talking about it with you beforehand, but I also feel that because this is technically, in a way, Swerve v. Hangman number 4, because we just had 3 to determine the number 1 contender, and obviously that ended in the draw. I think it's going to be overly personal. They're going to forget about Joe. And I know my prediction is not Samoa Joe winning, but I think that not only is it going to get very personal, but they're going to take out Joe with it getting personal, and it's going to lead to them ending it.
See, and with my original prediction, because yes, I realized I changed it.
Yes, you did.
But my original prediction was Samoa Joe, and that is exactly why I was thinking. They're going to forget Joe is even there because of their bad blood, and Joe's going to be able to capitalize on all of those emotions.
Or it could be really bad news for Joe, and they end up actually working together once, taking him out, and then it's like, all right, bad blood, let's get back to this.
I want to see it be Swerve. Mm-hmm. I really do.
And our predictions? Going
into the predictions, I've been back and forth. Mm-hmm. I've said Swerve for the reason being, it's his time. You strike, in the wrestling business, you have to strike while the iron's hot, and there is no hotter iron than Swerve Strickland right now. Mm-hmm. Especially in that world title picture. Joe, thank you for helping transition and getting MJF the much needed time off.
Mm-hmm. And like we said, we more or less went with Swerve for the same reason. You
went with Swerve, Desario went Swerve, Cauldron went Swerve, Flash went Joe, Hex went Joe. I think it's safe to say none of us want to see Hangman. No. Because I love you, Hangman. You are a great talent, but Jesus Christ, that first title run was garbage.
Agreed. I love Desario's reasoning. And this is why I more or less went with Swerve as well. It's right there.
He in a way for both predictions, or for the prediction he gave.
I had it pulled up. I had it pulled up for you.
Okay, I thought for whatever reason there was another world title.
No.
They already did the double switch.
Yes.
Amongst the competitors. Again, they did the double switch when it came to Hangman and Swerve.
Mm-hmm. The double count out. Are you having trouble, Brother Pyro?
Yes.
Okay.
To a degree, yes. So
let me read this. In Desario's words, they did the double count out for the 2 guys who are not the champ. Shouldn't have happened, but since there's a break in the devil angle, this is kind of where we need to go. He sees this match in late, kind of having little fingerprints of late WCW. throwing sticks, more or less. He says Joe is a transitional champion. MJF needed time off. You had the Bad Devil story. It had to be done. You got Adam Cole, who is still hurt, so Joe's the only one that they could put the belt on. And he's going to be the first time AEW booked a transitional champion. So that's why he's more or less picking Swerve.
Okay. Thank you.
You know, he said he's been a great champ, but missed a wrong time, wrong place.
Almost his entire career.
And unfortunately, that's just kind of how Samoa Joe goes with things. It is unfortunate, but that is kind of where we're at. I will take us into our next match, because I know you do not care about it one solid bit.
Nope.
Will Ospreay takes on Takeshita, however you pronounce his name.
Takeshita.
I can't pronounce his name for the life of me most of the time. This is Don Callis family versus Don Callis family.
Who cares?
I think this could be one of our co-main events. I don't necessarily see the title being a co-main eventer. I see this being it because it's Ospreay. This is his first technical match under the AEW contract, so it's a big deal, especially with the level of ability that Ospreay brings to us.
Of all the people to have him start feuding with under the AEW banner, why does it have to be within the Don Callis family? Why does it have to have no build-up and no actual rhyme or reason to freaking happen?
I read something, and I'm going to give you my reasoning for
Plus,
picking...
it's a lose-lose.
Wait. I'm going to give you my reasoning for something that I read after I go through our predictions. So, Cauldron, Desario, and myself have all chosen Will Ospreay, whereas Hex and Flash have chosen Takeshita. I choose Will Ospreay because one of the things that I have been reading, and I totally wholeheartedly agree with this possibly happening, who was missing when they brought Ospreay out? I want to see if you know. One of his Aussies, Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, because he's injured.
He's injured. But who's to say he doesn't come out? Or the other Aussie. I don't know the name of the other one, I'm sorry.
Okay.
To cost Ospreay the match because they've been following Ospreay. Now they have someone who can help elevate them, Don Callis, and Ospreay never fully goes under the Don Callis family umbrella.
Here's my thing: is the whole thing is a lose-lose situation. Because first off, you're inbreeding a feud within members of their own team. Mm-hmm. You lose. You're making it probably two of your best talents. Mind you, they are also young talents. You lose. And you know whoever goes over is going to be the one Don Callis favors. Mm-hmm. No matter how you slice it, no matter what happens.
No matter how you slice it or dice it.
No, there is no rhyme or reason to have this happen. There is no payout. There is no benefit for either man's career to have this match happen.
I mean, I agree, and that's why you went for no pick.
If you lose, you lose. Mm-hmm. If you win, you lose. None of this matters.
Okay.
And again...
And that is why you more or less were like, I don't care. I'm not taking a pick. Plain and simple, that's how it's going to be.
Make it make sense.
No, it doesn't.
And this is one of those, make it make sense moments, and it doesn't make sense.
No, it really doesn't.
I think I found my filler match to, go to the bathroom, grab a drink, grab some snacks at this point.
Yeah, whenever this match does happen.
I never thought the words, I don't care about a Will Ospreay match would ever leave my mouth, but here we are. I don't give a damn.
This is the 5th time you've now said it.
I don't.
Since we talked about it.
I don't care.
Okay.
The initial reaction when I said it, when we were first talking about it.
Shocked not only me, but Flash.
You guys looked at me like I was on drugs.
I looked at you like you had a double head. Flash looked at you like you were on fire.
What? What just happened?
Okay. Going into our last match.
No.
I know you don't want to, but we have to.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Wrestling Crossroads.
No.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
We're done. No. Can we not?
We have to.
Do we really?
This is why I start us off. Going into our last match.
You know, you always think you have more time with a performer than you actually do.
It's unfortunate, but this is where we are at, and so going into our next match and our final match of the night, we have Sting's retirement match. This is the final. He is closing the curtain. He is done. We thought, as a ode to him, we would read off some of his big things in the industry that he has had. So, without further ado, born March 20th of 1959, this icon has been blessing the squared circle with his talent since 1985, when he started as Flash on the independent circuit, forming a tag team with Jim Justice Hellwig, who would later be famously known as the Ultimate Warrior.
Man couldn't wrestle worth the dime.
After changing his ring name to Sting, he would work with JCP and WCW in 1987, where he would win his first championship, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, in 1990. Dubbed the franchisee of WCW and the WCW counterpart to WWF's Hulk Hogan, he would go on to win 15 championships with the promotion, 6 of those the World Heavyweight Championship, and 2 of those would be the International. Brother Pyro, take us through your half. I know it's hard. I know it's hard. We gotta get through it.
I know. I'm trying. I really am.
Do you just want me to read everything?
No, I got it.
Okay.
So, post his WCW exit, he would jump ship to TNA. Mm-hmm. He would give us an illustrious career in TNA. Sting would later then face Hogan and Flair in their last televised matches for the TNA brand, winning both matches. From his start in TNA in 2003, he would span an 11-year career, winning both the NWA World title and the TNA World Heavyweight title 4 times. He's been part of various tag teams and factions like Fortune, the Main Event Mafia, which was probably my favorite. Mm-hmm. He'd give us a few different personas, such as Joker Sting, which was absolutely fantastic, and he definitely, dealing with, in that 11-year span, you definitely saw how much this man really cared. Mm-hmm. He would become the first ever inductee to the TNA Hall of Fame in 2012. And being described as the greatest talent to never step foot in the company. In 2014, he signed with WWE, making his initial debut at that year's Survivor Series.
Yes.
Helping Team Cena pick up the win over Team Authority. Mm-hmm. His first official match in the company would come in 2015 at Mania 31. Him, Triple H, one-on-one, a battle of WCW versus WWF. What last time? He would then later go on to challenge Seth Rollins for the WWE title at the time.
WWE World Heavyweight Championship. This is
after they merged it. Unfortunately, unable to capture the big one. And despite a 2-2 record overall in the company, in 2016, after announcing retirement from wrestling the first time, he would be honored. His career would be honored, and the icon himself would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. He would be the headlining inductee.
Class of
2016.
Yes.
And although he did say nothing is certain, a lot of fans thought this was really the end. Fast forward 4 years, and he is signed with AEW.
He would make his first appearance at Dynamite Winter is Coming, pretty much coming out of retirement. March 7th, 2021, Sting would have his first match in over 5 years at the pay-per-view Revolution alongside Darby Allin. The two picked up the win, sealing their deal as a cohesive team. February 7th, 2024, Sting and Darby would go on to win AEW's Tag Team Championship.
Should have happened sooner.
Just 4 months after announcing his second retirement, with his final match being tonight.
And the fact that he announced that this time...
It is for real.
It is for real. It is permanent. There is no coming back out. Which, I mean, I understand he's old.
Yes.
But this tag team title run should have happened significantly sooner.
It should have. I agree.
I feel like he should have held one singles title.
No matter what it be.
Darby, I really hope you cherished every moment you got with this legend.
They did come out and state that, the bits about each other and how much each other means to them. So I know
I pray that you learned everything you could and retained every bit of knowledge that he has been able to give you.
So going into what the match is, this is an AEW Tag Team Championship Tornado Tag Team match. Sting and Darby Allin put their titles on the line against the Young Bucks. Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks. Just to try and get Pyro back here with us a little bit. We have Pyro, myself, and Flash choosing Sting and Darby Allin to win. Our reasonings being something Pyro will read to us in a bit. And
my reasoning being, please let Sting go out on top. Have him come out on Dynamite.
And
they vacate the titles. Yeah. On Dynamite, give us one last Sting moment, please.
And then we have Desario, Hex, and Colgan choosing the Young Bucks to win. There was something that you were going to read about the possibility of this match, a rumor that you...
Yeah, not necessarily a rumor, but in one of the wrestling groups that I follow, and actually you follow, I believe, the same group, another fan came out with a very interesting take. Very interesting prediction for this match. I'm going to read it verbatim. Prediction: Sting's last match. Darby Allin turns on Sting. Darby accepts a deal with the EVPs Nicholas and Matthew. In exchange for the tag titles, Darby will get a pay raise and an AEW World Championship opportunity in the future. Darby Allin rolls with Flair and the Bucks because, it wouldn't be surprising to anybody if Rick did make that turn, let's be honest.
Yes, I agree.
Back to the statement, though. Darby rolls out with Flair and the Bucks, leaving Sting to accept his retirement ovation, because Lord knows he's going to get that win, lose, or draw. After this betrayal of Sting, Darby Allin is now 100% dead inside, and now paints his face full, like Sting, instead of only the half. Dripped out in black suits, full Darby/Sting makeup, corporate sellout Darby Allin is something I didn't know I needed, but I do now. And honestly,
same.
I can see it happening. And I can, if done correctly, and I say if the way I do because it is Tony Khan, if done correctly, I can see that working so well.
I can see it working to a title match.
I love Darby, but I think post-Sting there is going to need to be some kind of career switch up.
I agree.
I love Darby. You love Darby. He is a great young talent. But something needs to give because he's supposed to be one of your 4 pillars.
Yes. And the only pillar that you have really done anything with was MJF.
Your other pillar is Jack Perry, who is technically now just New Japan.
Yeah.
Sammy, who's been relatively MMA mainly due to, being a new father, but also he has no traction under him anymore.
No. Now you have Darby.
You've put Darby to the wayside since the very beginning. I think he is the most neglected of the four pillars.
He is.
And if you want to count Britt as one of the four pillars, she's doing her dentistry business is taking off, and she wants to give a lot of the newer talent their time to shine.
I can't wait till she comes back.
She's ready for that call whenever it may be. But for now, she's happy being not a main character with the company.
Oh yeah, no, I love Britt, and if you put Britt as even a fifth pillar, it's amazing that she's giving them time, and that I think that she's really great in the ring.
Oh, absolutely.
So I cannot wait for her to get that call and come back.
Oh, please.
Do what needs to be done.
Exactly. I'm excited for it all, and cannot wait for her return. But again, Darby needs something, because you can't keep shitting on him the way you have been.
No.
And can still consider him
a
pillar or a main event guy or whatever. Somebody to build your company around if you're just going to keep crapping all over him.
And again, my biggest thing is the only one that they have really used has been MJF as a pillar. So do something with your other pillars because you need to, or you can't call them pillars of your company.
Exactly.
All right. And that has been Revolution. Again, thank you guys for the 1,000 downloads. We cannot wait till we hit another 1,000, and for that to happen in a span for a podcast that doesn't put out as many episodes as we'd like. We're not a weekly thing.
As many episodes as most podcasts. For this to come in under 3 years of us being alive, it is still amazing. So thank you once again. We will be back for the recap of everything, and we will see you guys then. Enjoy the show.
Laters.
Thank you, Sting.